The stadium went silent for one terrifying second, and then Lionel Messi reminded the entire planet why legends never truly age. At 38 years old, with the pressure of a World Cup night sitting on his shoulders, Messi missed a penalty early against Austria, and for a moment, the critics were ready. The whispers started. Was this finally the nighttime caught him? Was this finally the moment the magic faded? But what happened next did not just answer those doubts. It buried them. Argentina did not panic. Messi did not hide. He kept walking, kept asking for the ball, kept pulling Austria's defense toward him like gravity itself. And in the 38th minute, the moment arrived. Facundo Medina sent the ball back into the danger zone. Thiago Almada showed incredible awareness by letting it roll. And Messi appeared exactly where history needed him to be. One touch, one left-footed strike, and suddenly the world was standing again. Argentina led 1-0, and Messi had just moved deeper into World Cup history. But this was not only about one goal. This was about the reaction. Inside the stadium, fans lost control. Online, the clips exploded. A grandmother holding a sign saying she had loved Messi for 100 years went viral. A baby celebrating one of his goals became one of the most emotional images of the night. Celebrities, former players, and even neutral fans could not ignore what they were watching. And somewhere across the internet, even Messi's loudest doubters had to pause. Then, when Austria thought the storm was almost over, Messi struck again. Late in the match, surrounded by bodies, rebounds, pressure, and chaos, he found the ball and finished like a player who has been doing this since the beginning of time. Argentina 2, Austria 0. 2 goals for Messi. Another statement for Argentina. Another impossible chapter added to a career that already felt complete years ago. Tell us where you're watching from tonight, and what was your first reaction when Messi turned that missed penalty into another historic night? Drop your city and your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe football still has room for magic, subscribe now because this story is only getting bigger. For 9 minutes, everything looked normal. Argentina controlled the ball, Messi drifted between the lines, and Austria tried to survive the early pressure. Then came the penalty. The stadium held its breath. Millions of fans around the world leaned closer to their screens. Messi stood over the ball with the calm face everyone knows. The same face that has carried Argentina through impossible nights before. But this time, the shot did not bring celebration. It brought silence. The penalty was missed, and suddenly the whole match changed. Austria believed. Their defenders shouted louder. Their midfield pressed harder. The crowd felt the tension rising. For the first time that night, Argentina looked human. And for Messi, the pressure became even heavier. Because when you are Lionel Messi, every missed chance becomes a global headline before the next play even begins. But the difference between great players and historic players is what they do after the mistake. Messi did not disappear. He did not lower his head. He kept moving into dangerous spaces, kept demanding the ball, kept pulling defenders away from their positions. Austria thought the missed penalty had wounded him. Instead, it woke him up. Argentina slowly found rhythm again. Paredes began recovering balls in midfield. Almada started finding pockets of space. Lautaro and Julian kept making runs that stretched Austria's back line. The game was still tight, still uncomfortable, still full of pressure, but Argentina began to look like a team that understood something important. As long as Messi was still on the field, the story was not finished. Then came the 38th minute. One smooth attack, one clever movement, one perfect delay from Almada, and there was Messi arriving at the edge of the box. The left foot swung through the ball, and everything Austria had built collapsed in 1 second. The missed penalty was forgotten. The doubts were gone. The legend had answered in the only language the world understands, a historic goal. When Messi's shot hit the net, it did not feel like a normal goal. It felt like the entire match had been waiting for that exact moment. Argentina exploded. The bench jumped. The fans screamed as if they had just witnessed something bigger than a lead. Because they had. Messi was not only putting Argentina ahead against Austria, he was writing another line in a record book that already looked impossible to touch. That goal pushed him to another level in World Cup history. And the way it happened made it even more poetic. It was not a lucky bounce. It was not a simple tap-in. It was classic Messi. Timing, calm, precision, and that left foot that has broken hearts in stadiums all over the world. Facundo Medina sent the ball back. Almada let it pass with brilliant awareness, and Messi finished the move like a man who had seen the future before everyone else. Austria had defended with discipline. They had tried to close the center, block passing lanes, and force Argentina wide. For long stretches, it worked. Argentina had possession, but not always comfort. Austria did not come to watch Messi. They came to frustrate him. But frustrating Messi for 37 minutes is not the same as stopping him for 90. After the goal, the emotional temperature of the game changed completely. Argentina began playing with more freedom. Austria looked shaken. Every Messi touch became dangerous. Every camera cut to the crowd showed people smiling, crying, shouting, or simply staring in disbelief. This was the strange power of Messi. He could turn one shot into a worldwide moment. And somewhere, every critic who had prepared their speech after the missed penalty had to delete it. Messi had missed. Messi had suffered. Messi had responded. That is why this night felt different. It was not perfect. It was better than perfect. It was human first, legendary second. Before halftime even arrived, the match had already escaped the stadium. It was no longer just Argentina against Austria. It had become a global event. Social media was moving faster than the ball. Every replay of Messi's goal spread like fire. Every angle made the finish look colder. Every caption had the same message. He is still doing this. One of the most emotional images of the night came from the stands, where an elderly fan held up a sign claiming she had loved Messi for 100 years. It was funny, touching, and somehow perfect, because Messi's career has always felt bigger than time. Grandparents, parents, kids, and even people who never watch football every week all understood the same thing. This was not just a player. This was a memory people wanted to keep. Then came the celebrity reactions. Cameras caught famous faces smiling, clapping, and pointing toward the field. Former players praised him. Analysts tried to explain him. Fans from clubs he never played admitted they were watching history. Even people who usually argue against Messi had to slow down for a second. And then there was the reaction from his loudest online critics. Some laughed nervously, some acted shocked, some tried to minimize it. But the truth was obvious. Messi had forced everyone into the same conversation again. At 38 years old, in a World Cup match, after missing a penalty, he had scored a goal that shifted the entire narrative. That is what makes Messi different. He does not only win games, he controls the emotional weather around football. 1 minute, people question him. The next minute, they are standing, posting, shouting, and asking how this is still possible. Against Austria, the internet did not simply react to Messi. It surrendered to him. The final score may say Argentina won 2-0, but anyone who watched the match knows Austria did not make this easy. They were organized, physical, and brave enough to challenge Argentina in uncomfortable areas. They did not give Messi open grass. They did not allow Argentina to play every attack at their preferred rhythm. For long stretches, Austria forced the defending champions to work for every pass. That is what made Messi's performance more meaningful. He did not dominate a broken team. He solved a serious problem. Austria pressed in waves, kept their shape compact, and made Argentina recycle the ball again and again. They wanted to make the game slow, tense, and frustrating. And for a while, they succeeded. Argentina had moments where the ball moved from side to side without finding the final cut. Lautaro made runs but lacked clean service. Julian worked hard between defenders. Almada tried to create sparks in tight spaces. Paredes fought to keep control of midfield. Still, the match stayed dangerous because Austria were waiting for one mistake, one counterattack, one careless pass. That is why Messi's presence mattered beyond the goals. Even when he was not touching the ball, Austria had to respect him. One defender stepped closer. One midfielder hesitated. One passing lane opened somewhere else. Messi's gravity changed the game before the scoreboard did. And after his first goal, Austria had to choose between staying compact or chasing the match. That decision slowly opened spaces Argentina could attack. The missed penalty had given Austria hope. The first goal took some of it away, but the second half would become a test of patience, discipline, and killer instinct. Argentina had the lead, but Messi was not finished. As the second half moved forward, Argentina looked calmer, but not completely safe. A 1-0 lead in a World Cup match is never comfortable. One deflection, one corner, one defensive mistake can erase everything. Austria knew that. Argentina knew it too. That is why the match kept a sharp edge, even when Messi's first goal had already changed the mood. Messi began dropping deeper, slowing the tempo, then suddenly accelerating the attack with one pass. He was not sprinting like a young winger. He was controlling the game like a chess player who had already seen the final move. Every touch forced Austria to react. Every pause made defenders nervous. And every time he lifted his head, Argentina believed something dangerous was coming. But Austria refused to fold. Their goalkeeper made important stops. Their defenders threw themselves into blocks. Their midfield tried to disrupt Argentina's rhythm before the final pass could arrive. For a few minutes, it felt like the match could still become uncomfortable. Argentina needed one more goal to close the door. Then, late in the game, chaos arrived inside the box. The ball bounced. Bodies crashed toward it. Defenders tried to clear. Attackers tried to finish. And in the middle of all that noise stood the one player Austria could not afford to lose. Messi reacted first. Not with power, not with panic, with instinct. The ball found him, and Messi found the net. Argentina 2, Austria 0. The captain had done it again. The first goal was history. The second was punishment. Austria had survived for so long, but Messi waited until the final moments to make sure the night belonged completely to him. It was not enough to answer the missed penalty. He had to turn the whole match into another chapter of his legend. A 2-0 win can look simple on paper, but this one was not simple. This was Argentina confirming control of the group. Messi leading from the front, and the football world realizing that the story everyone thought was near its final pages still had another dramatic twist. Argentina had already opened the tournament with authority, and this win pushed them forward with confidence. 6 points, 2 strong results, and a captain who looked determined to drag the team as far as his legs and his genius would allow. For the rest of the tournament, that is a terrifying message. But the emotional weight of this double went far beyond group standings. Messi had already won almost everything football could offer. He had already carried Argentina through pressure, heartbreak, criticism, and glory. Yet here he was again, still hungry, still decisive, still turning ordinary nights into global events. That is why fans reacted so strongly. They are not just watching for goals anymore. They are watching because every Messi performance feels like it could be one of the last historic memories of an impossible era. Every touch carries nostalgia. Every smile feels like a gift. Every goal feels like something that will be replayed decades from now. For younger fans, this is a chance to witness the legend live. For older fans, this is a reminder of everything he has survived. The lost finals, the criticism, the doubts about whether he could do it for Argentina. The endless comparisons, the pressure of being expected to create miracles every time he played. Against Austria, Messi did not need to prove who he was, but somehow, he proved it again anyway. And maybe that is the most unbelievable part. The greatest players make history once. Messi keeps returning to history like it belongs to him. Before the match, there were always voices waiting for Messi to fail. That is how it has been for years. Every tournament brings new doubts. Every quiet half becomes a debate. Every missed chance becomes evidence for people who want to believe the magic is fading. And after that early penalty miss, those voices were ready. But football can be cruel to critics, especially when Messi is involved. He gave them a mistake, then took away their argument. He gave them silence, then forced them into applause. He gave them 9 minutes of hope, then delivered a full night of regret. By the time the match ended, there was no serious way to frame the story around the missed penalty. The story was the response. That response matters. Because leadership is not only about perfect moments, it is about what happens after the imperfect ones. Messi missed, stayed calm, scored, guided Argentina, and scored again. He showed younger players that pressure does not disappear. You carry it, breathe through it, and answer with your next action. Even the online reaction told the truth. People who usually mock Messi looked stunned. Fans of rival players tried to change the subject. Neutral viewers admitted they were watching greatness. And Argentina supporters celebrated with the kind of emotion that only Messi can still create. This was not about attacking anyone. It was not about hate. It was about football giving a clear answer. Respect is earned on nights like this, not because a player avoids mistakes, but because he transforms them into something unforgettable. At 38, Messi should be slowing down according to normal football logic, but Messi has never obeyed normal football logic. Against Austria, he turned criticism into fuel, pressure into poetry, and one missed penalty into the beginning of another masterpiece. After the final whistle, the scoreboard showed Argentina 2, Austria 0. But the deeper message was louder. Argentina are not here just to participate. They are here to chase another dream. And with Messi still deciding matches, every opponent in the tournament has a reason to worry. This Argentina team is not built on Messi alone, but it still breathes differently when he is inspired. Around him, the pieces are working. Paredes brings bite and control. Almada adds creativity and movement. Medina offers energy from wide areas. Lautaro and Julian keep defenders busy. The team has balance, fight, and enough experience to handle difficult moments. But Messi gives them something no tactical board can explain. He gives belief. When a match is tight, Argentina trusts that one moment can arrive. When the crowd gets nervous, Messi can calm the ball. When opponents feel organized, he can find the one gap they forgot to protect. That is why this win matters for the knockout rounds. Austria made Argentina uncomfortable, and Argentina still found a way. Messi missed a penalty, and Argentina still won clearly. The match demanded patience, and Argentina did not lose control. Those are championship signs. Of course, tougher tests are coming. The pressure will rise. The margins will get smaller. One bad half can change everything in a tournament like this. But Argentina leave this match with something powerful. Momentum, confidence, and a captain who looks unwilling to let the story end quietly. For the rest of the world, the warning is simple. You can defend well, you can frustrate Argentina, you can even survive for long stretches. But if Messi gets one clean moment, history can change before anyone has time to react. When people look back on this night, they will remember the 2 goals. They will remember Argentina beating Austria 2-0. They will remember the records, the celebrations, the viral clips, the fans crying, the critics going quiet, and the feeling that the football world had stopped again for Lionel Messi. But the deeper lesson is not only about greatness, it is about resilience. Messi missed a penalty in front of the world, and he did not let that mistake define him. He stayed present. He kept working. He trusted the next play. That is a lesson far beyond football. Everyone faces moments where the pressure feels too heavy, where people doubt, judge, or wait for failure. The answer is not anger. The answer is composure, discipline, and the courage to keep moving. Strategically, Argentina learned something important too. They can win even when the match is uncomfortable. They can survive tension. They can adjust after setbacks. And when Messi is surrounded by players willing to run, fight, and believe, Argentina remain one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament. But football should also remind us of something human. Rivalries are part of the game, debates are part of the passion, but respect must stay bigger than hate. Messi's night against Austria was not a reason to insult others. It was a reason to appreciate greatness while it is still here. Players age, tournaments end, eras close. But memories like this stay with people for a lifetime. So whether you love Argentina, support another nation, or simply love the beautiful game, this was one of those nights that reminds us why football matters. It brings generations together. It gives families a story to tell. It turns pressure into emotion, and emotion into history. Now we want to hear from you. Where were you watching when Messi shocked the world again? And what does this performance mean to his legacy? Leave your thoughts below. Share this with another football fan. Hit like and subscribe for more emotional football stories that go beyond the final whistle.